Welcome to Implement EU DORA Step by Step with templates. In the next 15 minutes, we'll walk through the Digital Operational Resilience Act, its 5 pillars, and the 20-step implementation process that financial entities need to follow. You'll see how organizations build ICT resilience, manage third-party risk, and prepare for regulatory audits. This is a practical overview distilled from the full course. Let's get started. Let's start with the big picture. DORA is the EU regulation that requires financial entities to manage ICT risk, report incidents, test resilience, and govern third-party technology providers. It became mandatory in January 2025. DORA is built around 5 pillars that together create a comprehensive framework for digital operational resilience. The first pillar is ICT risk management. Financial entities must identify, assess, and manage risks to their information and communication technology systems. This includes protection measures, detection capabilities, response procedures, and recovery processes with lessons learned. The second pillar covers ICT-related incident reporting. Organizations must classify incidents using defined criteria, report major incidents to competent authorities within strict timelines, notify affected clients, and conduct thorough root cause analysis. The third pillar requires digital operational resilience testing. This includes regular testing programs, threat-led penetration testing for significant entities, vulnerability assessments, and scenario-based testing that simulates real-world disruptions. The fourth pillar addresses ICT third-party risk management. Financial entities must perform due diligence on technology providers, include specific resilience clauses in contracts, maintain ongoing monitoring and oversight, and develop exit strategies for critical providers. The fifth pillar encourages information sharing on cyber threats and vulnerabilities between financial entities, with regulatory authorities, and across the industry to strengthen collective resilience. DORA applies to a broad range of financial entities and their critical ICT service providers. DORA applies to banks, insurance and reinsurance companies, investment firms, and payment institutions. These are the core financial entities that must implement all 5 pillars of the regulation. The regulation also covers crypto asset service providers and crowdfunding platforms, reflecting the EU's commitment to regulating emerging financial services with the same resilience standards. Critical ICT third-party service providers designated by European supervisory authorities fall under DORA's oversight framework. This includes major cloud providers, data center operators, and core banking platform vendors. Trading venues, central securities depositories, credit rating agencies, and other financial market infrastructure providers must also comply, ensuring resilience across the entire financial ecosystem. Now let's move from theory to practice. The course breaks DORA implementation into 20 steps organized across governance, risk management, incident response, resilience testing, and third-party management. Implementation starts with governance structures, role assignment, and the ICT risk management framework. Steps 1 and 2 focus on reviewing the DORA framework and determining whether and how it applies to your organization. The output is a compliance scope document with a gap analysis that identifies where your current practices fall short. Steps 3 and 4 establish governance. Assign key roles and responsibilities. Create a DORA compliance committee with cross-functional membership, and define escalation paths for ICT risk decisions. Steps 5 and 6 build the risk framework. Create a comprehensive ICT risk management policy and conduct an initial risk assessment that identifies, analyzes, and prioritizes ICT risks across all critical systems and processes. The second phase builds incident management capabilities and establishes the resilience testing program. Steps 7 and 8 define incident response procedures and the reporting framework. Establish classification criteria for ICT incidents, create response playbooks, define notification timelines to authorities and clients, and build root cause analysis processes. Steps 9 and 10 establish the resilience testing program. Schedule regular ICT resilience tests, including vulnerability scans, penetration tests, and scenario-based exercises. Implement continuous monitoring tools to detect anomalies and threats in real time. Steps 11 and 12 address third-party risk. Conduct due diligence assessments on all ICT service providers. Draft contracts with specific resilience clauses covering incident reporting, audit rights, exit strategies, and sub-outsourcing restrictions. The final phase covers training, performance measurement, documentation, and continuous improvement. Steps 13 and 14 build organizational capability. Develop internal training programs on ICT risk and DORA requirements, and conduct simulations and drills that test the organization's ability to respond to cyber incidents and system failures. Steps 15 and 16 establish performance measurement. Define key performance indicators for resilience metrics like recovery time, incident response speed, and testing coverage. Schedule regular compliance reviews to track progress and identify gaps. Steps 17 and 18 focus on documentation and audit readiness. Document all compliance efforts, risk assessments, incident reports, and testing results. Prepare audit packs and evidence portfolios for regulatory examinations. Steps 19 and 20 drive continuous improvement. Review and update policies regularly as threats evolve, and enhance resilience by systematically applying lessons learned from incidents, tests, and industry developments. Let's close with the most important lessons from DORA implementation. First, DORA is mandatory for EU financial entities since January 2025. Its 5 pillars comprehensively cover ICT risk management, incident reporting, resilience testing, third-party risk management, and information sharing. Second, third-party ICT risk management receives unprecedented attention. Financial entities must manage their technology supply chain with the same rigor they apply to internal systems, including contractual resilience clauses, ongoing monitoring, and exit strategies. Third, resilience testing must be meaningful. Regular vulnerability assessments, threat-led penetration testing, and scenario-based exercises are required to prove that systems can withstand and recover from real disruptions. And fourth, start with governance. Prioritize gaps by risk severity, and build continuous compliance from day one. DORA is not a one-time project. It requires ongoing management, monitoring, and improvement. That wraps up our overview of DORA. In the full Udemy course, you'll get detailed lessons on all 5 pillars, the complete 20-step implementation process, templates for policies and contracts, resilience testing guidance, and real examples from FinGuard Financial Services. Use the course to build your compliance program with confidence. Thank you for watching. If this overview was useful, subscribe for more financial services, compliance, and resilience content. See you in the course.